Daniela. Sorry, I'm late.
Hi,
because
Daniela. Welcome.
hi. Is that I had a dentist.
Ouch.
Por eso llegué tarde. Yes. I'm 18 years old and I study public relations.
Okay.
That's it.
And how long have you been learning English for, Daniela?
Since I 5.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yes, but I stopped my study for 2 years ago.
Okay. Are you studying public relations? Did you say?
Yes,
Where are you studying?
and Yeser is the university name.
In Rosario?
Yes, in Rosario.
Okay. And what do you want to do after university, Daniela?
Sorry?
What do you want to do after university? Once you finished your studies, what do you want to do?
I think or organizing events or para success empresas.
Sorry, Diana, you mean some work in some companies?
Company, yes, eso. Yes, company.
A company. Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Daniela.
Mauro, do you have any questions to David?
Yes. What was your experience working in Coca-Cola?
Ooh.
Do you like it?
Okay. Well, I tell you first why I joined Coca-Cola. When I was your age, all I wanted to do was travel and see the world. Living in England, we're lucky because we're close to Europe. So we can get a train across the channel and you're in Europe, and then there's 30, 40 countries you can visit. In South America, not so easy. You've got obviously Paraguay, Uruguay, and Brazil, but in Europe it's quite easy to travel. So I've been around Europe, but the first time I got into a plane, Mauro, was when I was 26 years old. I hadn't flown before I was 26, because in Europe you don't need to fly; you can take trains. So I had this burning desire to see the world, find out where things were, and meet people in different cultures, experience different things. So when Coca-Cola came knocking on my door, they're obviously in every single country in the world, and I was just so excited by the fact that I could live and work in any country I wanted to, almost, obviously with opportunities. We've lived in 3, 4 continents, 5 countries. So I've seen the world. So my objective when I was your age is to have dreams and know what you want to do has largely been achieved. Did I like working for Coca-Cola? Did I jump out of bed every day, desperate to go to work? Probably not. There were some bad times, some good times, but the travel made up for me. That was really what I enjoyed.
So do you like travel? You like travel?
Yeah. I think so. Yes. Even now, even today.
Would you like to live in the top of the mountain? Because you said that you like mountains.
Yep.
Yes.
Live
Yes.
on the top of a mountain. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd like to live on top of a mountain. I like to be on the top of a mountain, but I wouldn't want to live there. Too cold, too lonely. Probably not. No.
Okay.
Would I like to live in the mountains? So,
Mhm.
like, in Switzerland or Austria or Bariloche, that's living in the mountains. So you're surrounded by mountains. Definitely, yes. And I guess someone on the call asked me where I like to travel in Argentina. A good question is where I'd like to live in Argentina
Mm.
if we came back to live here. And I guess it's Mendoza or Bariloche again, because they're close to the mountains. I would love the opportunity to live in Bariloche for a year or two. My
Okay.
wife is not here today, so I can't call her over right now and tell her, but she's not here. Nice
Thank
questions,
you
Mal.
for
Good. So
answer.
so you are just 1 second. You are 16 years old.
Yes.
So what do you want? What do you want to do after with your life?
Maybe I'll study. I don't know. Computer science, and then I'll work. I'd like to be millionaire, and I have to work a lot.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's such a good goal, Mara.
Yeah.
Anyway, good.
Thank you.
Okay. Millie, would you like to ask something?
Yes, I was wondering how and where did you?
Nah, I couldn't hear that, Millie. You kind of
Sorry. How and where did?
no. Your microphone is not working very well. I heard how and where.
Ahora? No. How
Sorry,
and where
sorry to
did
interrupt.
you-
Millie, do you want to write the question on the chat?
Or try speaking a little bit louder. A little bit louder, or try almost shouting.
How and where did you meet your wife?
No, still didn't get it. Where did I meet someone?
How and where did you meet your wife?
Okay, someone's not muted, right? There was lots of noise on the. Where did I meet my wife? Okay, good question. I met her in Cordoba, Argentina. I met her in a bar at midnight. As I was saying to you before, life here is late, so this particular point, I was going out to meet a young lady to have a drink with, and well, love at first sight, right? So Coca-Cola had sent me to Cordoba to work here, so I was able to meet my wife in town in Cordoba, and about 4 weeks after I met her, I had to leave Cordoba and go to Buenos Aires, but we stayed in touch. And then I left Argentina and went to Mexico, and my wife came up and joined me in Mexico. 3 months later, we were engaged. 3 months after that, we were married, and the rest is history.
How nice. I don't know if you can listen.
I can hear you now, Millie. That's much better. Yep.
Yeah, I have another question. I heard that you didn't like living in London, but what do you miss the most about living there?
Okay, that's a good question. It's a funny answer. The newspapers.
Why?
When you leave your country, Millie, and you travel outside your country to different countries, you learn more about your own country and why, what doesn't work so well and what works better, because you see how other countries work and how other countries do it. And the quality of the media in England is world class. The newspapers in England are world class. So when I can't, and I unfortunately, of course, I can't read La Nación very well in Spanish, so I don't know about your newspapers here. But I do miss the newspapers. I miss some of the BBC documentaries on TV, the streaming online. And nowadays it's easy, Millie. You don't miss anything because everything's available 24/7 on your computer or your cell phone,
Yeah.
your smartphone. So you don't miss anything. Do I miss the pubs in England? A little bit. The pubs where you go down in England, part of the culture, pubs where you go meet and have drinks with people and friends. I miss that a little bit. I miss the countryside because it's a beautiful country. It's a stunningly beautiful country. There's nothing extreme there, like there's no mountains and there's no deserts like in Argentina, and no glaciers and icebergs, but it's just a beautiful country.
Yeah, I imagine. I hope I can go someday.
Would you like to visit England one day, Millie?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But not work someday. I think I ask you back to England.
Anybody else having difficulty hearing Millie, or just is it me? I think your microphone has got problems.
If you plan to go to England, to go back.
Well, Millie, as I said, I now have 2 children in England. Our kids are in England. My daughter is 24, and she's working in London. And my son is 22, and he's just finishing university. So now I need to go back to England to see my daughter at least. So she won't let me not go back to England. I have to go back to see her. So whenever we're traveling, you may know we live in Thailand. So whenever we're traveling between Thailand and Argentina, we stop in England for a while to see the kids.
Well, I don't have any more questions.
Oh, now your microphone works well. You don't have any more questions.
I'm sorry. You want to ask me something?
Very good.
Okay, Dianela, do you want to ask something?
Yes. Can you speak another language?
No.
No.
I'm not lucky like you, Daniela. In England we learn French, but in England foreign languages are not given much importance in the curriculum. It's always sports, it's always maths and science. So foreign languages are a bit of a joke in England, and that's how I approach them. So I never passed any exams in French. That was the only subject, foreign language I learned at school. Then I started traveling, and of course the whole world speaks English, Daniela. So I was never encouraged to speak another language. Obviously, until I met my wife. And this is where it gets embarrassing, because obviously I've been married to my wife for 28 years, but we always speak English. So I blame her. She always speaks English to me, so I never had the chance to learn Spanish. So it's awful. It's really bad. I'm sorry. How about you, Daniela? Do you speak any other languages? Spanish, English, and
No.
maybe Portuguese? Do you understand Portuguese?
Sí,
Yeah.
so. I traveled to Brazil maybe
Yeah.
6
6 times. Yep.
Yes, 6 times.
Yep.
Yes.
My wife can speak Castelhano, Portuguese, and the two of them will just talk to each other, which I find fascinating. But if the person's from Portugal, then she can't. So there's something about the Portuguese in Brazil that Argentines, I think, are probably used to, that you're able to talk similar. It's a similar language. To me, it sounds completely different. When I hear someone speaking what I think is Russian, I know it's Portuguese.
The question is that as regards Portuguese from the south of Brazil, it has a great influence with Spanish, and that's called Portuñol. And Portuñol is very easy for us to understand. Understands the other person from the south, because if you go to the north of Brazil, that is different. It's more like the Portuguese they speak in Portugal, and that's why it's more difficult.
I didn't know that, Fabi. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone have another question? Sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
Have you how many countries you visited?
Oof. Okay. 86.
A lot.
There was silence there for a minute. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Again, as I said, I love to travel, Daniela. I just love to travel. I'm still at 57 years old, eager to get to new countries. I want to visit new countries. I want to go different places. And there's a bunch of countries around Argentina that I haven't visited: Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay. So because my wife won't let me go there. Whenever we come back to Argentina, we have to come to Cordoba to spend time with the family, which I understand. So I've still yet to go to Peru and Bolivia. But yeah, my wife and I have traveled extensively around the world.
And what are your favorite countries?
I knew you were going to ask. I knew you were going to ask that. That was obviously the follow-up question, right? That is a really difficult question because there are so many beautiful countries out there. But if I had to pick one, I guess it would be New Zealand. Again, it's mountainous. It's ecologically beautiful. There aren't many big cities in New Zealand apart from Auckland, so it's very small. New Zealand people, the people from New Zealand are so friendly. They play rugby. I'm a big rugby fan. And there's fantastic trails and running routes. It's a beautiful country.
Sorry that I interrupt, but Agus has a problem. Can you invite her again, please?
Yes, I will do it. Thank you, Emi.
David, I want to introduce my granddaughter.
Hey!
Her name is Juana, and she's
Juana.
fascinated. Yes, Juana. She's fascinated because she can see Franca, and so she's pointing at the screen and want to say something, you know, because Franca is there, her friend.
I can imagine. Yeah. Hi, Juana.
Hi, hello. Okay, keep on.
Daniela. Any more questions?
No, thanks. No.
Nope. Okay, back to Lucas.
Okay. Thanks, David. If you have any questions for us, you can ask and we will try to answer.
Yeah. Okay. It's difficult to ask a general question because I guess I'm interested in what young people think about the world and in particular climate change. So is there anybody on the call, any of the teenagers on the call who have strong views around climate change? Was that too difficult of a question, Lucas?
Sorry, I can't listen.
But maybe I should ask first of all, Fabi. Fabi there?
Yes,
or Maka?
tell
One of the
me.
teachers.
Yes.
One of the teachers. Is that too difficult a question to ask? What their
No.
thoughts are on climate change?
Have you got the question?
Maybe,
What do you think about?
Yes, I don't know about so much about that topic, but then I stopped because I don't eat very well. I don't eat. I don't know how can I say like something to
For
replace
example,
protein. Thank you. Yes, that's
yes,
I want to
yes.
say.
You have to be very responsible, and you have to eat a variety of things so as to keep a balanced diet. That is important.
Yes, I didn't do that.
So Millie, where do you get your
I
proteins
feel
from?
bad. I asked for I don't know, nutricionista. I don't know how can I say in English.
A nutritionist.
Okay.
You ask a nutritionist.
And she, yes, and she gave me como un polvo, like polvo. I don't know, I don't remember the name. But she gave me that, and she said that it's going to help.
It was a vegetable?
No, it's like I don't know how can I describe.
Okay.
Can I search the name?
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah. As we're talking about nutrition, I mean, there's some great documentaries on Netflix. One's called Game Changers. Go ahead, Millie. Yeah, you got the name now. What?
She gave me a protein vegetable.
Protein?
Yes, vegetable, but
vegetable.
Yes.
All vegetables have proteins.
Yes, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
It was like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
So what?
Argentina is a big meat-eating country.
That's
part of your,
yes,
it's
that's
part
why.
of your culture. It's part of your culture, particularly if you're a man. It
was difficult to me leave
Amy, so you were told that in case you wanted to stop eating meat, you needed extra vitamins or like to have some medicine, like to call it some way,
Yes.
that you had
Okay.
to take extra pills or some pills in order to replace meat, so that it was not enough
Yes,
just by eating vegetables or fruits.
because I don't eat well, so
Se
she
fue,
gave me
Franca.
that.
Okay, I mean, you know, I'm 57 years old and I've never taken any medicine or any supplements or any medicine. You can get everything you need from vegetables, everything.
That
So
was
I
the
was
word.
I know
supplement.
that I didn't need
Yes.
that because I don't
Ah, no
eat
se
well,
puede.
so she gave me that.
Puede ser que tenga caca.
Maybe
So I would watch.
I
There's a couple of documentaries on Netflix. One is called What the Health. It's very good. It explains all the problems with meat and why you should eat vegetables, and it goes through everything. It's very good. And if there's any guys or boys on this call who think they need to eat meat because it's manly, watch Game Changers, another documentary on Netflix. The strongest man in the world who can lift 550 kilos on his shoulders is a vegan. You don't need to eat meat. It's a myth that the meat
The question
industry...
is that
yes,
our professionals here in Argentina think us Argentinian doctors and nutritionists, and that's why, yes,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
they of course they believe or they support the idea of eating meat as something important.
Yeah, because it's so interlinked with
cultural.
Argentine DNA, Argentine culture.
Yes,
Particularly
yes,
from-
it's cultural.
I see
definitely.
that. I see that in my family here. I mean, they joke. I mean, I'm a joke with the male parts of my family that I'm a plant, that I will start growing branches or seeds myself, because they all eat meat and I won't eat meat. So they joke about it, and I have to put up with it. But hey, who knows?
I tell you that every time you come home, my mom freaks out because she doesn't know what to cook.
That's good. I like that, Mecca. I like that. So,
I
all right,
think
so
that. Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead, Mary.
I think that the products, the vegetarians or vegan products in Argentina, they are limited, and so they are too expensive for people. So it's very difficult to become a vegetarian or vegan person.
I would agree with you to a certain extent, Mary. But have you been down to a grocery store and see what a kilo of tomatoes costs? Yeah, I mean, vegan products is something different. I mean, my daughter is a vegan, and when she comes to Argentina, she has to stop being a vegan. Basically, I mean, she accepts it from coming here. You can't be a vegan and travel around Argentina. That's I agree. But you can certainly be a vegetarian, and it's cheap. Vegetables are cheap here, relatively cheap. My wife, we go down to the grocery store here 3 times a week, and she'll spend 400, 500 pesos on groceries. And then we cook everything we need from that. So anyway, it's a choice, Mara. It's a personal choice that anyone can make, and vegans, because they try to convert everybody to become a vegan, and people don't like that. Right? So if I say it's my choice. If you want to eat meat, that's fine. I don't mind. I'll even eat meat if I come to Fabi's house and she doesn't know that I don't eat meat and she's cooked meat. I'll eat it because I don't want to offend her, saying, "Oh, I don't eat meat." So I have eaten meat, particularly in South Africa, which is another meat-eating country. Some South African friends of mine did an asado, or a braai as they call it, and I ate meat because I didn't want to offend them. So but given a choice, I won't eat meat or fish. But anyway, listen. The question. Someone. I think it was it Amelia? Who was just talking? Amelia. You mentioned that you didn't know
Yes.
much about climate change.
Yes, I know. I
The
only
subject that-
know that the industry of meat or meats industry is one of the most problems.
Okay.
I
Okay.
only know that.
So in Argentina, the subject
Yeah.
of climate change and the destruction of the environment by humans is not spoken about much.
No, I think that, for example, I don't know how can I say it, but other topics, I don't know, for example, women's, we talk more about women and problems, women's, like, I don't know, but we talk about.
No, no. The reason, and I've seen this. I've noticed this in Argentina because in Europe, in England, all the kids your age, that's all they're talking about, and they're changing their behavior, changing their shopping purchases to protect the environment.
We
But in
are just
Argentina-
starting.
Sorry.
We are just starting. We are not very conscious about you. We need
Where
to
you need to get conscious very quickly.
insist on that. Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, people, sorry to interrupt. This is
40
really
minutes.
really interesting. But, well, you know that there are only 5 minutes left.
Oh
And
no!
I believe Agos has something to tell us, don't you?
Yes. Well, David, thank you so much to sharing this time with us and answering our questions. We learned more about you, and you gave us another perspective on things for life. And we are grateful for this opportunity, and we hope that you enjoy as much as we have.
August, I love talking to young people because they're the future of the planet. Bit in inspiring young people to be better and to protect the environment. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. I will say once that you've all chosen to learn English, and unfortunately English is the language of the world. So it's a huge skill that you've all got that hopefully will be a positive on your life in the future and will enable you to travel and do things. So keep it up, guys. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Can't we do another 40 minutes? Maka?
As you wish.
I'm enjoying myself.
We are planning something for next week. Fabio?
Yes,
Okay.
and we are organizing different groups because we want all our students to have the possibility to speak to you, of course. And we are kind of organizing a kind of live interview on Instagram. So then we are going to inform you, yes?
Okay.
Are you
All
ready?
right, cool.
And we are going to invite you if you accept, of course.
Are you ready to become an influencer?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course.
I was only talking to my daughter about that this morning.
Great. Well,
Okay, it was a real pleasure. Thank you very much, David. Thank you
Yes.
very
No.
much for your time, for
You're more than welcome.
everything.
You have some great kids there. English is very, very good. You guys must be good teachers. All their English is very, very good.
thank you, David. Thank you for this great opportunity and enriching experience for us and for students as well.
Great. I'm just glad I can help. That's all.
You can all say goodbye to David and thank you. You can unmute your microphones just to say bye-bye.
Thank you, David.
Thanks,
Thank you
David.
very
Thanks very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're all very welcome. I guess final comment from me is I'm disappointed that no one asked me about football.
Yeah, great. Next time.
Well, maybe next time.
Next time.
Probably we need some more. We need some more meetings. Probably, yes.
Perfect.
Next
No,
time.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
We are
you.
disappointed about because you don't like mate.
Me too. Me too.
But before the next time we speak, I will try mate again. Let me try
You
mate
come to
again.
Rosario,
You
you're
should.
gonna
You should.
do mates.
If that's going to disappoint you, then I'm going to have to change my behavior.
I've never met a foreigner who likes mate. I've never met a foreign people. No.
That's all the inspiration I need. I'm going to become the first foreigner ever to enjoy mate in Argentina.
And an influencer.
Bye, guys.
Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Bye.
David, thanks for
Thank you.
Thank you.